Dear students, I am Betty Chelvi, your biology ma'am. I welcome you all to 12th standard botany, chapter 1 from unit 6, reproduction in plants. 12th standard biology book is the continuation of 11th standard. We have learned 15 chapters in 5 units in 11th standard botany. So, it starts with unit 6. The name of the topic is asexual and sexual reproduction in plants. Do you know what is reproduction? It is the tendency of all the living organisms to produce their own species. They produce their young ones. Plants, animals, insects, and even microorganisms can reproduce because living organisms only can reproduce. So, it is a biological process. Reproduction is a vital process. Vital means very important because without reproduction, the species will not be seen in the world in course of time. The generation of the particular species will come to the end. So, reproduction is a vital process. அதோட சந்ததியெல்லாம் அப்படியே நின்றும். And then reproduction also brings changes through variation in offsprings. Offsprings means young ones. They develop some changes. The young ones develop some changes in them to survive on this earth. For example, you see nowadays mosquitoes have adapted themselves to the mosquito repellent. It is derived from the changes in them according to the environmental changes. So, reproduction helps to exist the species in the world and brings some changes. அதாவது உயிரினங்கள் இந்த உலகத்தில் நீடித்து வாழறதுக்கும் சூழ்நிலைக்கு தகுந்தவாறு தங்களை மாற்றிக்கிட்டு தாக்கு பிடிக்கிறதுக்கும் ரீப்ரொடக்ஷன் தேவை. I told all the organisms reproduce. Of this, plant reproduction is very important because all the other organisms depend on plants for many purposes, especially for food. And reproduction also plays an important role in evolution. Reproduction falls under two major categories. One is asexual reproduction and the other one is sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction occurs without the formation of gametes. Here in asexual reproduction, male and female gametes are not produced. It occurs morphologically, that is by using external body parts. Whereas in sexual reproduction, seeds are produced by the fusion of female and male gametes. Okay, now let us study about asexual reproduction. It occurs both in lower plants as well as in higher plants. அதாவது asexual reproduction lower plantsலையும் நடக்குது, higher plantsலையும் நடக்குது. Lower plants, fungi and lower animals show different methods of asexual reproduction. You have already learnt about this in 11th standard in unit 1. Now I will show some pictures. Methods of asexual reproduction in lower organisms. Some fungi like Aspergillus and Penicillium produce conidia. This is Penicillium. These are conidia. Yeast reproduces by budding. It produces buds on its body. This is Pyrogera. It is an alga. It splits into small fragments. Each fragment is developing into new individual. This is Planaria. It is a flatworm. Each broken part is regenerated into new individual. So, Planaria reproduces by regeneration. In Marchantia, gemma cups are formed. It is a bryophyte. Now, let us see vegetative reproduction in root. The roots of some plants produce adventitious buds. Adventitious buds means some extra buds from a root, stem or leaves. Example, Murraya. You might have seen some small curry leaf plants near the big one. This is produced from the buds of its root, not from the seeds. In some root buds, they store food. Example, Ipomia batatas, that is sweet potato. They store food. Then, this is Bryophyllum, an example for vegetative reproduction of leaf. The small buds are formed from the notches of the margin of the leaf.
Some notches on the margin produces buds. These buds are called epiphyllous buds. Epi means மேல, phyllis na leaf. Leafக்கு மேல இந்த buds வரதுனால it is called epiphyllous buds. These buds form root system and become independent after the decay of the leaf. இந்த leaf அழிஞ்ச பிறகு இந்த root system form ஆன பிறகு it will separate from the main plant and it develops into new plant. Then these are the examples for vegetative reproduction in stem. Okay, this is rhizome, gingiber officinale. The axillary buds are formed from the nodes. Then this one is corm, colocasia, that is sepangalangu. The terminal buds are formed from the part of the body. Then this one is tuber. It is Solanum tuberosum, potato. The buds are formed from the eyes. Then these are the examples for bulb. This is allium cepa, onion. Axillary buds are formed from here. Then this one is lilium, garlic. Axillary buds are formed from here. Then this is runner, Centella asiatica, vallare. It also forms some underground stem. It runs horizontally and just on the soil surface. Then this is called stolon. Example, Fragaria and Mentha. Mentha, Pudina. It develops from the lower branches of the stem. Then this is an example for offset. It is Pistia. Pistia means water lettuce. It also produces some short stem. It produces new plant like this. Then this is the example for sucker, chrysanthemum, samandi. It is produced from the underground part of the stem like this. Then here axillary bulbils. These are called bulbils, Dioscorea bulbifera. This is also the tuber, kiழங்கு வகை.
Now let us see the advantages and disadvantages of natural vegetative reproduction. At first, advantages. First point, only one plant is enough for reproduction. The next point, new plants produced are genetically identical. The third point, the plants can spread rapidly. Example, Spinifex. It is a grass-like plant. It grows fast. Fourth point, horticulturists and farmers use these organs for cultivation and harvest plants in large scale. They need not wait for the production of seeds. These are the advantages. This method has only one disadvantage. As they are genetically identical, they show no variation. So, the generation may struggle for the survival on this earth.
Children, so far we have learnt about reproduction, types of reproduction, asexual reproduction in lower plants and in higher plants, and natural methods of vegetative reproduction. In the next class, we will see about artificial methods of vegetative reproduction. Bye.